मम योनिर्महद् ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहम् सम्भव सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. So Bhagwan is calling Arjuna as Bharat, the one who is reveling in light. So the one who is reveling in light will have that kind of ability to introspect and be concentrate, be focused. So what do we mean by reveling in light? My intellectual faculty has to be sufficiently enlightened. I have to understand. And what stops me from understanding is my ego. So lesser the ego, more understanding the individual will be. What makes this ego so intense will be known through this chapter itself. Why? Because while introspecting, I'll find out what makes my ego so intense that I don't even understand what the other one is saying. So let us see whether I understand what Bhagavan is saying. Mama yonihi mahad brahma. This word mahad brahma is used over here for the total Maya. It is the total Prakriti. Prakriti is made up of the three gunas. And the three gunas, when they create a veil of ignorance, it is called as Maya. It is Mahad Brahma. It is called as Mahad Brahma because it is as though the shadow of Brahman. So it is also called as Mahat Tattva in Sankhyan philosophy. The total causal body is the combination of this Mahat Tattva and spirit. That is the inert matter, total inert matter, enlightened or enlivened or illumined by the presence of spirit. Then it becomes causal body. And that will be called as Ishvara. So Mahat Tattva is that total Maya, Trigunatmika. Total sattva, total rajas and total tamas put together. Mahat Tattva. Bhagavan says that is my yoni, that is my womb. Tasmin garbham dadhamyaham. In that I put my seed. I put seed. That seed of consciousness, right? The seed is the spirit. So, matter enlivened by the spirit. So the womb is the Prakriti of the Supreme and the seed is the spirit of the Supreme. Sambhava Sarva Bhutanam. My womb is the great Brahman. In that I place the germ. Thence, O Bharata, is the birth of all beings. Sambhava Sarva Bhutanam Tataha Bhavati. Tato Bhavati. O Bharata. From thence, from thereafter, from that combination of matter and spirit, come out all the world of plurality. So who is the Father? Father is that which gives seed. Who is the mother? Mother is that which gives the womb. So it is the womb and the seed, the combination of the two, which has the ability to produce. So the production of this creation or creation is happening due to the combination of total matter and the spirit. We can't say total spirit because spirit is one only. Now, since it is called as Mahat Brahma, so it is little confusing for the reader. Why Bhagavan calls it as Mahat Brahma, not Mahat Tattva? Because when Bhagavan says Mahat Brahma, it definitely indicates that it doesn't have independent existence. Therefore, it is the reflected Brahman or shadow or ghost. Prakriti is the ghost or superimposition or reflection of Brahman. Mahat Brahma, why? Because it is Mahat, it is totality, so it is not small, it is great. The shadow of infinity cannot be finite or small. So when infinity is Anadi Ananta, so its shadow is also Anadi Ananta. It becomes avidya in individual. But we are not talking of individual as yet. We are talking of macrocosm. We have not yet come to micro. It is macro. Macro is totality. So the total matter, Maya, the total Prakriti, Mahat Brahma, is the womb. Tasmin Garbham Dadhamyaham, Bhagavan says, in that is the seed of spirit. Put Sambhava, and thereafter, from the combination of the two comes out the creation. It is, so beautifully explained and defined already that how does creation come into being. This is how. So, the total vasanas, the world of thoughts and ideas and desires, total, will not be able to be dynamic without the presence of spirit. So the stone cannot have vasanas. But a living being can have. But the bhuta includes the non-living things as well. So it is the problem of the equipment and not the spirit, where the stone is unable to move itself or think or have attitude and things like that, whereas the living beings can. So definitely there is some difference between the permutation combination of Maya in the stone and the same permutation combination of Maya in a living being. Though the matter is the same in both, and though the spirit is also same in both, but the combination is different. The proportions are different. So, I can introspect and find out about the combinations that I hold. The spirit which is holding this I has what sort of combination of gunas? It's an interesting introspection. I have never tried to find out because I am busy faults in others, the quality of others. Have I ever tried to find out my own quality? No, for me, I'm always good. So my quality is good. No, it's not so superfluous a knowledge. What is good? What sort of combination of gunas do I have that I have become like this? Is to be found out. So, therefore, Bhagavan says that, oh Bharata, the one has to be intelligent enough for this work and humble enough to be true to oneself. Then it will be possible. Then what is the difference between the total Prakriti, enlivened by consciousness, and individual's Prakriti, enlivened by consciousness? There is a slight difference. Why? Because there comes the question of development of ego. So the total causal body is called as Ishvara, who does not succumb to the gunas, the total Prakriti. But thereafter, when it further gets intensified as an individual microcosm, that individuality gets succumbed to the inherent gunas. So that is the difference between Ishvara and Jiva. Jiva, the individual. Though both are in Maya, both have got the same combination of Prakriti and spirit of what is that? Mahad Brahma and the seed, which is provided by the Supreme Consciousness. But this individual conscious being is affected by the tendencies, the gunas, whereas the totality is not affected by the gunas, has complete control over the gunas. Therefore, it is called as Ishvara. This total mind-intellect equipment thereafter is called as Hiranyagarbha, from where the creation comes out. So it is the total Maya enlivened by the spirit, which is called as Ishvara, and then that gets conditioned as total mind-intellect equipment, which is called as Hiranyagarbha, which further grossified into the world of multiplicity is called as Virat. And the same happening in individuals, further to that grossification, then that individual mind-intellect equipment is called as Tejasa, and the individual cause of that individuality, which is the combination of the gunas inherent in that individual, will be called as Prajna, and that individual at individual gross level is called as Vishwa. So Vishwa Tejasa Prajna, microcosm, Virat, Hiranyagarbha and Ishvara, macrocosm. Macrocosm is not impacted by the gunas, though very much in the gunas, but the microcosm gets impacted by the gunas and therefore lives a miserable life after life. So, can I break this conditioning and come back to my macrocosmic identification. So, what is spirituality? Spirituality is the travel from Jivatva to Ishwaratva. Going towards spirit, right? And then transcending Maya is realization. So this is the whole, in a nutshell, whole practice in a nutshell. The best part of the whole thing is that everything has come out of one without a second, that is Brahman. Is all contained in Brahman and will get back into Brahman. So, Prakriti is whose womb? Is the womb of the Supreme. Who puts seed in that Prakriti? The Supreme puts seed in the Prakriti. So, where is the question of another? There is nothing other than that. That itself should be sufficient encouragement for the seeker to proceed. Why? Because now you become fearless. Oh, everything is nothing but Brahman. But there is some ups and downs. Some kind of agitation is there. Let me see how can I calm down that agitation and come back to the tranquil state where I can find my Ishwaratva. Why am I troubling myself by identifying as a Jiva?